Hey everybody, welcome to another video of reselling history. So today I'm actually taking an impromptu antiquing session here at Call It New, Call It Antique in Mesa, Arizona. I'm gonna see if I can find any good deals, gonna look at the discounts. Maybe somebody mispriced something, so let's go find out. Alright everybody, so this first booth is 70% off, and if you're ever going to an antique mall, always go for those discounted booths first. You never know what you're going to find, especially at a pretty steep discount like 70%. Now, unfortunately, this booth was pretty picked over, but you had some interesting items like that Minnie Mouse bank, and then you have some Nintendo DS items, some games, and I do know video games are super hot right now. Unfortunately, those don't look like valuable games. And in this booth there was also a lot of glassware and crystalware, which I am just not really into. That stuff is just so fragile and hard to ship, and I don't think the market is really hot for those items right now, so I passed on mostly everything in this booth. Let me know if I missed anything. Alright, and now we're in another 50% off booth, and I like to just dig through booths like this where there's just so much stuff packed in one place. Like in this little baggie, there was a little grouping of Boy Scout items, and then there's some pinbacks on the bottom. And you just never know what you're going to find in little piles of junk like this. So I always like to be thorough, because you never know the seller who's selling it, they might miss something. So just always double check the things you're looking for, and you might find a good deal. Now, I always like to look over the vintage Disney or Mickey Mouse items because I have done pretty well in the past, but you have to find something pretty rare, or in fact, the older it gets, the more valuable it is when it comes to Disney collectibles. And now in this, the case of the booth, this is where they kind of get you, is a lot of the stuff is supposed to be discounted, but it says they're firm on price. And it's not just antiques in this mall. There's a lot of retro, or I guess modern collectibles like Funko Pops. And that's something like there's so much Funko Pops that I wouldn't even know where to start with a valuable one. So I just pass on those. And I always stop by this booth here in the antique mall because he stocks it with a lot of military collectibles. And that's something to always be on the lookout for, because those things are really overlooked. A lot of people have no idea the value of what something from World War II could be worth, a medal or a pin. And a lot of times things can be undervalued, so you never know. And then I love World War II history, so I'm always looking for that stuff. Now, unfortunately, these are some really nice watches, but the person who was selling them, man, they are asking a lot of money for them. So I had to pass on all of them. I don't know if they're repaired or if they've been serviced, so it was a hard pass. And here's another booth that's always stocked with militaria. You got some World War II Ike jackets up there. You have some swords here. One of them is apparently a Civil War sword, but I kind of doubted it. It looked awfully new to be Civil War era. And then you got a lot of caps here. I think this guy is mostly just stocking kind of like his less valuable items in here, and he probably keeps the more valuable for himself or sells them online. But there are some interesting items here. Now this next booth is where I finally made a nice score. I bought a couple of pins that were, one of them was vastly underpriced, and it had a lot of history behind it, even military, actually both had military history behind them. So I'll talk about those in just a moment. All right, everybody, I'm all done. I looked at about just about everything in the antique shop, and it's a really big place. I did find 3 things. 2 of them you've already seen, but I'll just go over it really quick. And what you didn't see was, for $1, I bought some vintage TWA airline pilots. Well, not pilot, but employee pins. And for $1, and there comes with 2, you know, they're probably about $5 or $10 each. So I think that was a pretty good find. And you already saw the Ike pin. I want to say this is probably from the 50s or 60s, post-war, but I could be wrong. This could be like a patriotic World War II era pin when he was a general. And then the best find was this World War II era, I think it's from World War II, Coro. It's made by Coro, and I didn't know that. And it's in beautiful condition. It's a patriotic home front pin, beautiful enamel on the back. It does say Coro. It's very faded, but $8.50. That was less expensive than this Ike pin. So whoever, you know, priced this, they didn't realize that it said Coro on the back. And it was a great deal. I spent $20 total. That the Coro pin is probably worth at least $40 or $50 on its own. So I think it was a good day at the antique shop, and I found some good deals. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, and like. Take care.